Good morning, my friends. Michael Anthony here, the Exceptional Life Podcast. It is Friday morning, December something 2020. I don't know the exact date, to be honest with you. Doesn't really matter. All I know is today is a great day. I woke up full of energy, vibrant, telling myself it's going to be a great day, baby. If you haven't watched my morning intention video, then you should check that out. That explains exactly what I do first thing when I wake up in the morning. But then I go about doing my morning rituals, and I have several different things I like to do in the morning. In addition to the morning intentions I set as soon as I wake up and get up out of bed, I do other things like meditation, visualization, journaling. I take my dog for a walk. Different things like that. So I grab my coffee. I'll do some tapping. I love to do some tapping in the morning, and I usually do different breathing exercises as well. But anyway, it's already a great morning. I'm about to start work here, and I just want to throw this quick video together because I just put a post on Instagram about visualization, and usually those posts I put on Instagram are just impulse post, meaning I just kind of let something come to me, an idea, a concept, a technique, whatever it might be, some sort of insight, some sort of value I want to offer to people out there in the world, and then I post it. And so the one that I posted was just a quick little summary on visualization, and I thought a little bit about it and how powerful visualization is. I use it regularly, and I've had some tremendous things manifest in my life, things that I've brought to fruition through visualization. And I wanted to share a story with you on just how powerful visualization is. So let me tell you just a little bit about visualization first. So most people have heard of the term visualization. They may or may not understand exactly what that means, but it is a technique rooted in science and neuroscience. There's been research done on it. There's been research that's proven how powerful it can be, especially on influencing your brain, your mind, and your perceptions of reality, and bringing things to fruition in your life that you want, right? Or even that you don't want. So, what was I going to say? Well, first of all, there's many different names for it. So you may have heard it as visualization. You may have heard it as mental rehearsal, conscious daydreaming. Even just daydreaming is a form of visualization. Anytime you find yourself kind of caught up in your thoughts and you are imagining outcomes, and a lot of people do this on a daily basis. And one of the problems is a lot of people are doing this in a very disempowering, negative way, right? They're trying to they're either reliving the past, some sort of traumatic or negative past, and they're drumming up those emotions from the past, maybe even reliving the experience. And what is happening is your brain literally thinks that you are pretty much experiencing the same thing you experienced before. And if it's something that was bad or negative or very depleting, disempowering, then you're going to feel the same way, and that could really just ruin your day, right? Or it could ruin the next few hours of your day, right? It could even linger around for days or weeks at a time. It just depends on you and the experience. Also, a lot of people project into the future. It's a natural process of the brain to form concepts and try to predict the future. Neuroscience talks all about this. So every moment of your life, your brain is trying to predict an outcome based on concepts it has brought together and formed neural networks around. So if you're constantly in a disempowered state of mind, a negative state of mind, constantly visualizing negative outcomes, fearful things that you're afraid of happening in the future, or reliving things that happened to you in the past, then you're going to have a tendency to essentially have a reality, a life where you're constantly in that sympathetic fight or flight state of mind, fearful, nervous, over vigilant, right? it's okay to be cautious about things, right? It's okay to have a healthy dose of fear, so you can recognize what you don't want in life, or recognize maybe where you need to work on things in life. Like I talk about that with there's comfort and discomfort, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, but constantly living in a state of fear, a disempowered, negative state of mind where you're constantly worried, constantly fearful, constantly predicting negative outcomes into the future. You're going to essentially live a life that way. You are going to bring it to fruition. And this brings me back to visualization, because this is a form of doing that, right? It is a technique to do just that, to relive the past, predict the future, and if you visualize enough, you can make it an automatic habit. You could actually form such strong neural networks around visualization and the imagery that you drum up in your mind, and then tie emotion to it. Actually feel the emotion of what you're visualizing, how you would feel in a certain place or circumstance, or having something come to fruition that you really want. And you could drum up the same emotions as if you were really living in that future reality. And so you could do the opposite of what most people do. And most people are living in that disempowered negative state, unfortunately. And, obviously the brain and the survival aspects of the brain play a part in that, and that's healthy. But a lot of people are constantly living in that day in and day out, and it's truly unhealthy, and it breaks the body down. It causes tremendous amounts of stress and disease and sickness, and such low levels of energy that you don't even enjoy life. So I'm just yapping on here. So let me. We're a little over 7 minutes. I just want to keep this short. My whole point of this video was to, first of all, tell you how powerful visualization can be when you're doing it in an empowering, happy, joyful, confident state of mind, state of being, and you start to affect your body and your mind in a psychophysiological way by doing it over and over again. And it doesn't take long to do, and you could do it every day. You could do it multiple times a day. It only takes a few minutes. I'd recommend doing it longer, 10, 20 minutes, or even longer than that if you can. The more you do it, the stronger those neural networks are going to get, the easier it is going to be for you to do it. And you're going to start to see changes in your life, because your brain is so powerful. It's going to align you and allow you to notice and realize circumstances, places, people, relationships, events, in bits of information that are going to align you with that which you desire. And then next thing you know, you're bringing stuff into your life. You're creating a reality around the way you're predominantly thinking and visualizing. And it's super powerful. And you'd be pleasantly surprised by the things that magically show up in your life. It's very cool. And so I just want to share a quick story to end this video. Super powerful aspect of visualization in a way that I didn't even mean to do. And it was just such an amazing synchronistic event. So I was traveling for work a couple years ago, when I really had started just working on myself from a self-improvement, personal development perspective. I was meditating regularly. I was really absorbing a lot of knowledge around neuroscience and the brain and the mind. I was improving my health. There was a lot of things happening in my life, and I was feeling really good about it. And I went on this business trip to Atlanta, and I was down there for a few days in meetings. And my last meeting of the day had canceled, and my flight back home wasn't for almost 8 hours. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the airport anyway. I'm just going to get through security. That way I don't got to rush later. I don't really have anything to do or anywhere to go. Like, I'm going to work. I just got to have to get on my laptop and do work. So I could do that from the airport. I could grab lunch, hang out at the airport, and just wait on my flight, right? So I'm at the Atlanta airport. Like I said, my flight was like almost 8 hours away. So I had tons of time to spare. I went and grabbed some lunch. And I regularly visualize purposely and intentionally, but I also tend to just daydream. I find myself daydreaming very vividly a lot. And I found that the more mindful I became, the more I started to meditate and visualize and do different techniques like this, the more vivid just even daydreaming would get for me. And I would find myself sometimes just lost in really cool daydreams, unintentionally, just kind of, I didn't even mean to do it. So I was eating lunch. It was kind of busy around me, and I just kind of disappeared into this daydreaming state of mind that I didn't intentionally launch into. I just found myself in it. And what was really bizarre about it was I had no intentions for this daydream. Right? It was just happening in my mind. I was just gone. I didn't even see the food I was eating. I was just in my mind. I was just gone. I was like in a whole different reality. I was in this daydream. So this daydream, I was getting on my flight to come back home, which is Pittsburgh, and I ran into Jerome Bettis. Right, he's a former Steeler, professional football player, and I ran into him on the flight back to Pittsburgh, and I sat next to him, and we had this conversation about business and about his restaurant, the Jerome Bettis 36 Grill or whatever it's called, which is right here in Pittsburgh, which I've been to many times, and it was just kind of this long daydream. Me and Jerome Bettis having this conversation. It was a bit odd because I'm not a big sports guy. I'm not really into football or anything like that. I don't watch football. I'll go to a game here and there or whatever, but it's not something I'm really interested in. I've never really been interested in it. So for me to be visualizing talking to Jerome Bettis was just very odd to me. So when I kind of came to out of that back to my lunch in the restaurant, I was like, wow, that was kind of a bizarre yet vivid daydream. Whatever. It's all good. I did some daydreaming. I'm sitting here eating my lunch. Didn't even notice all the people around me or anything. So I was like, whatever. So I went about the rest of my afternoon. I did a bunch of work. I had tons of time to kill. I walked around the airport for a while. And then finally, it was getting close to boarding my flight, and so I made my way over to the gate, which was really busy at this time. It was in the evening. It was busy. All the gates were very busy. Tons of people around, and so they had just called the first class people to line up, and so I kind of got a little bit closer. As I forget, I was the first or second group to go up. Oh, I love coffee. And I'm standing there, and I kind of look at the people standing in line that are first class, getting ready to, walk down the jetway and board the plane. And fucking Jerome Bettis is standing there. Jerome Bettis was standing there, and as soon as I saw him, I had this shot of energy. It was like a Kundalini awakening experience. I felt energy shoot up from my feet all the way up to the top of my head. It was insane. It was like I was excited and joyful, but the energy I felt travel through my body, I've only felt that maybe a handful of times. I had the low battery warning come on, so hopefully it looks like I'm still recording. But anyway, I had this jolt of energy shoot up through my body, and it was such a synchronistic event. The coincidence of actually seeing him after having this vivid, unintentional daydream, 7, 8 hours prior to that, it was just such a bizarre experience. But that's the way it works. That is the way it works. Now, that seems very magical, right? And in a way, it very much is. But the brain is so powerful, and the way you align yourself in the universe, and using different techniques like visualization and meditation and mindfulness, they truly awaken sources of power, sources of information and resources within your mind and your body and your spirit that you're just not aware of, that we don't even know a lot about. And things like that will happen. And that's not the first time I had something like that happen. I've had all sorts of things like that happen ever since I started on this journey of improving my life. And my life has improved tremendously. And so, anyway, I saw Jerome Bettis. I couldn't believe it. When I got on the plane, we looked at each other as I walked by him. He was sitting in first class. And that was it. I didn't sit down and have a conversation with him like I did in that daydream. But I went back to my seat, and I remember sitting down going, wow, I kind of brought this into fruition. I realized this bizarre daydream in a way. I was pleasantly surprised. It was like the universe's way of saying, you're on the right track. You're doing a good job. Here is a sign, right? Here is a sign that you're doing a great job. And so that was just a really cool story. I kind of forgot about it, and it popped in my mind when I made that post today on Instagram. And visualization is so powerful. You may not realize the things you're visualizing or you want to bring into your reality in the exact way you see it in your mind, but you will be pleasantly surprised in the way things manifest into your life. And it's not just the things that you want, it's also the things you don't want. So you got to be careful with it, right? So stop visualizing and imagining things that you don't like. Stop reliving things from the past that you did not enjoy, that were traumatic or disempowering for you in your life in some way, and start focusing on powerful, confident, joyful, happy visualizations, images of your mind, daydreaming, conscious daydreaming, and make it a habit, baby. Do it. Do it. Get excited about it. Start by just doing a couple minutes in the morning when you first wake up. Imagine how you want your day to go. Imagine how you want your month, your year to go. And just have a tremendous, amazing day every single day. Visualize the things that you want. Who cares how big or impossible you think they are? Don't judge them. Don't criticize them. If you feel like you're not good enough, that's baloney too. You're good enough to have whatever you want, to do whatever you want, to feel how you want, and nobody's going to change that except you. So do it, enjoy it, and live it, baby. All right. Have a great day. Don't forget to be exceptional. See you later.